What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. So I just finished watching the Sunday night football game between the Eagles and the Falcons. Man, it was what a great game, y'all. It's a couple things I want to unpack. What a great football Sunday. It's always good when the Saints lose. The Rams beat the Saints down. I hate to see players get hurt. Drew Brees did get hurt earlier in that Rams game. But I really want to talk about this Eagles game that just went down. Man, I don't know why my Falcons like to raise my blood pressure, but it was a great game. It seems like it was the Eagles players. A lot of their players got hurt during the game. Caleb McGarry, he did also get hurt early in the game. He actually got hurt. I hope that his injury is not serious because, as you know, last year we were bitten by the injury bug. And I just hope that the injury bug doesn't rear its ugly head again for our Atlanta Falcons, man. We already lost not Caleb McGarry, but Chris Lindstrom to the broken foot last week. And then it looks like they said that Caleb McGarry hurt his knee during this game. Good news is Tyson Brylow didn't play too bad. And originally, Tyson Brylow was supposed to be the starter going into the season. And he ended up getting hurt. And then Matt Gano ended up getting hurt. So Caleb McGarry actually, by default, was our starter. It's a lot of things I want to talk about with this Eagles game. It is kind of late. The game just went off. It's really late. But I have to break down some of the stuff I seen from this game because I can't go to sleep. Man, what a game, man. I'm just happy that we got the W because it seems like the last couple years when we play the Eagles, we seem to always come up on the short end of the stick. So I was just hoping, like, when we were on that last drive that we could just score a touchdown because it seems like every single season when we play the Eagles the last 2 years, it comes down to us having the ball and not scoring a touchdown. Like, we end up on a goal line. The last 2 times it looked like almost like deja vu. And we couldn't score. But this year, we called the right call, and we were able to score a long touchdown by Julio Jones. The player of the game ball goes to Isaiah Oliver with a great defensive stop at the end of the game on Zach Ertz. But there's a couple things that I want to break down really quick in this video. First thing I want to break down, I was really kind of getting upset with the play calling from Dirk Cutter. I like Dirk Cutter a lot and think he's an excellent offensive mind. But what I didn't like, what I was seeing out of him, is a lot of the 5 and 7 step drops he was calling when the Eagles was straight zero blitzing, like bringing everybody, house blitzing us, bringing everybody in the kitchen sink. He was making me so upset because Matt Ryan was under so much duress and pressure. And it looks like he didn't figure it out until like the last play of the game when they threw the screen to Julio. He was able to score a touchdown. I mean, it's easy. I can see it sitting on my couch. They're bringing all of their guys. The Eagles was bringing everybody, their safeties down, right up on the line. And your offensive line can only block so many guys. So I don't know what in the world Dirk Cutter was doing, but anybody that knows anything about football, if the other team is blitzing every single person, even their safeties in the middle of the field, they blitzing all of their linebackers, they blitzing their safeties, that means the middle of the field is wide open. Why in the world were we not throwing any slants? We should have been throwing a slant right behind where those linebackers was vacating the field and where Malcolm Jenkins was stepping up and they all were blitzing. The middle of the field is wide open. On that one interception that Matt Ryan threw when he tried to throw the ball long to Julio and it was picked off, I think, by Ronald Darby, I blame that on the offensive coordinator. People might want to get mad at Matt Ryan and say, why throw that pass? But the thing about it is, why in the world is Julio running a 9 route, a streaks route, when they're blitzing everybody? And you can see when you walk up to the line, they have all their safeties and their linebackers all blitzing. Why in the world we're not going to the quick game, throwing a quick slant right behind where those linebackers are vacating? That's easy. Even if you want to have Austin Hooper, looks like all of the routes that our wide receivers were running was deep routes. So as much as we want to blame, people want to look at or blame Matt Ryan, that's just a terrible play call. This is a terrible play call. And I'm not going to let Matt Ryan off the hook because Matt Ryan didn't play well tonight. And I'm a Matt Ryan fan. I'm not a hater. I love Matt Ryan. He didn't play well tonight. The reason I say that is because when he threw that pick on the goal line, when we were in the red zone, when he threw that pick to that linebacker in the middle of the field, I think his name was like Gary or something like that. He threw that pick. I don't know if he was trying to throw it to Austin Hooper in the back of the end zone, but if he was attempting to throw to Austin Hooper, he was triple teamed. So there was no reason for him to be throwing that pass. So I can't really put that on the offensive coordinator by saying that was a bad call, even though I didn't understand on that particular play why we just didn't run the ball, because Ito Smith had just ran the ball down to like the 10-yard line. He had like a 30-yard run on a draw play. So a lot of the offensive play calling was very questionable. I don't know what Dirk Cutter was doing or what Dirk Cutter was thinking, but I didn't like the play calling until the last play of the game where he threw the screen, which we should have been running screens all game, because anytime a team is blitzing, you have to throw the ball quick. You have to go to your hot routes. So we should have been throwing some in cuts, running back screens, wide receiver screens, bubble screens, whatever. But anytime a team is bringing that much pressure, your offensive line is not going to be able to block everybody if they're bringing 7 and 8 men on blitzes. And the answer to if the team is blitzing you is not to throw a streak pattern or a 9 route, because it takes time for one, Matt Ryan has to be able to step into his pass. So I do blame Matt Ryan for not stepping into his pass on the one that he tried to throw to Julio Jones on that streak pattern. The problem is he couldn't step into the pass because they were blitzing everybody up the gut on a zero blitz. So if he would have tried to step into it, he would have really got killed. Like he would have got hit. And chances are he could have possibly fumbled the ball by trying to step into the pass, or just bad things would have possibly happened. So mainly I put that on the offensive coordinator. Like, you have to know better. If a team continues to blitz, it's like we kept continuously calling 5 and 7 step drops and they're blitzing everybody. You have to counteract it. It was only like 1 or 2 times where we threw like a screen pass, or the one play where we threw that shuffle pass to Devontae Freeman, which was kind of like a screen pass where both of our guards ran up the field and Freeman got like a 30-yard gain, which was smart because all of the linebackers was vacating the field, and the safeties. All of them was blitzing right up the field on a zero blitz. So Matt Ryan was under duress all night. Now, I can give our offensive line some credit because they did play better tonight as far as blocking for Matt Ryan. I do give them a little bit, give them some more credit, or give them a little bit more credit than last game, because last game, as I told all of the Falcons fans, do not worry. Do not panic, because the Eagles are a great defense. They have an excellent front seven. Their back end is not as good as Minnesota's back end, but the Philly has a great front seven. And our offensive line did a great job up front, or a better job than they did against the Vikings, of keeping Matt Ryan clean in the pocket where he could actually move and make some plays. I just didn't like the play calling. And then some of the, like I was saying before, some of the passes that Matt Ryan threw was very questionable. Like, he had a couple of them. I was like, what is Matt Ryan doing? The one pick he threw that I mentioned earlier when he was trying to throw it to Hooper in the back of the end zone, the one when he threw that deep pattern to Calvin Ridley, they said it on the telecast. Calvin Ridley was double covered. I don't know why he threw that ball, and they were just like, I guess he trusts Calvin Ridley. No, it's no such thing as trusting Calvin Ridley in that particular position. That pass should never have been thrown because he was covered by 2 guys. He was not open. And then a couple of the plays early in the game, I really don't put on Matt Ryan, because the first one, he was on the run and he tried to throw it to Calvin Ridley, and it was like right out, like he missed it, but like the hair on, like the skin of his teeth, basically. He threw the ball on the run, and he almost hit Calvin Ridley for a touchdown when he beat Ronald Darby. And they came right back to the same play, and they tried to throw it to Hardy. And Hardy beat Darby again. They were beating Darby all night. Ronald Darby, he was getting burnt all night. But on that one throw, he tried to throw it to Hardy. They came right back to it, like two plays in a row. They tried to throw the deep pattern. One was to Hardy, one was to Calvin Ridley, and it was just like overthrown by a little bit. So I'm not gonna really put that on Matt Ryan. He just missed, on those throws. But some of those other plays where Matt Ryan was throwing the ball in triple coverage, he has to clean that up. I know he's under pressure. I don't want to put it all on Matt Ryan because I like Matt Ryan. I think he's a great quarterback. I just think sometimes he's under so much pressure and he's not being helped out by his offensive coordinator because they're putting him in bad positions. Like as a coach, you should never be calling five and seven step drops when a team is blitzing, zero blitzing like that. When the middle of the field is wide open, when you could be feeding Austin Hooper. Austin Hooper should have had way more catches than he had this game. And we should have ran way more screen passes. Like that one play that we had at the end of the game where Julio Jones scored the game-winning touchdown, we could have been doing that all night because they was blitzing everybody, which means that leaves your corners on the island. So all you had to do is run like I said before, either a curl pattern, a quick slant because there's nobody there. And I prefer in cuts like a quick slant because even if you run a curl pattern takes a while to develop. And they were blitzing so many guys on those zero blitzes that Matt Ryan only had like a second to throw the ball, like 2-3 seconds to hurry up and get the ball out. So they should have been throwing quick screens. They should have been throwing even if the wide receiver don't even run off the line, you just throw the ball out to the outside and let Ridley, Sanu, and Julio Jones break a tackle because when you're zero blitzing like that, basically the field is wide open where those corners they can't make no mistake. Basically, if those corners miss a tackle when you're zero blitzing like that, that's a touchdown. Like you seen when they threw that last pass to Julio, they basically gambled. But when you gamble like that, that's how you get burned because you live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. So they kept doing those zero blitzing. I said they're gonna get caught in the wrong. Well, they're gonna get caught when they're zero blitzing, and we're gonna call the right play, which was that screen pass, and that left that corner and that safety out on the island because basically Sanu blocked down on one of the corners, and then Jake Matthews pulled and he hit one of the corners. So the only person that was left to try to chase down Julio was Rodney McLeod, who was I believe their free safety or their strong safety. He was trying to chase Julio down, but I mean, we're going to win that matchup every time. I'll take that matchup anytime. Julio Jones in open field against one guy, a safety or a corner or a linebacker or whoever. If it's Julio by himself on a one-on-one situation where he got to beat somebody to the end zone, I'm going to put my money on Julio Jones. That's why we paid him all the money that we paid him. So I'm so proud of our team. I'm glad that we're 1-1 because I didn't want us to start 0-2, even though I feel like our schedule is going to get a little bit easier because our first two games was really tough. But next week we go to Indianapolis to play the Colts. So I think that, and then I believe after we play the Colts, we come back home and we take on the Titans. So I feel like those teams are not as tough as the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles and the Colts and the Titans. Even though you never want to look past anybody because the Colts are a solid team. They're not a terrible team. I just think that the Eagles are a more well-rounded team than the Colts and then the Titans. But we should be able to win the next two games. We're going to continue to take it one game at a time. I'm definitely going to do another video probably tomorrow once Caleb McGarry's status come out, like once he goes and they actually diagnose what his injury is. I'm just really praying that it's not a serious injury because we can't afford to lose any more guys on the offensive line. Like this is looking like, I don't want to claim last year. I don't want us to even speak negative on our team or speak anything into existence. I just hope that he doesn't have a serious injury, Caleb McGarry, because we already got one guy on IR in Chris Lindstrom. And we can't afford to lose any more guys on the offensive line just because, if we did lose Caleb McGarry for an extended period of time, then now Tyson Bryler was our swing tackle. So if anybody else get hurt, like we're really like short on our offensive line now. And then we're going to have to start plugging in guys that I don't feel are well equipped to go ahead and play the position. Like Wes Schweitzer, he's a decent guy. But then I believe we brought back that guy Wetzel, who these guys are like third and fourth string guys. So I prefer having, right now we got a lot of veterans on the line. Like I said, I was impressed with Tyson Brylo. I was impressed Jake Matthews definitely had a bounce back game after the first game where he looked terrible against the Vikings. To me, Alex Mack always plays pretty well. And the guards look good. Jamon Brown looked pretty good tonight. And the veteran, Chris Carpenter, I believe is his name, he played well. So our offensive line played much better than they did against the Vikings. Our team played much better than they did against the Vikings as far as less turnovers and causing turnovers. Desmond Trufant, we got to take our hat off to Desmond Trufant, y'all. Desmond Trufant played well tonight. I mean, when I said game ball, Desmond Trufant definitely deserves one of the game balls as well, because 2 interceptions in one game is big. That was big for our team tonight. Even though we didn't capitalize on the offense, meaning we didn't score after every single interception that he had, anytime you can turn the other team over is big. And big ups to Kendall Sheffield with punching the ball out on the first kickoff, coming out in the second half to put us on the short field. Was an excellent job of doing the old peanut punch. If you remember Peanut Tillman, they used to play for the Bears. He just punched the ball when the guy was running. He just punched the ball out. That's an excellent technique to cause turnovers. Big ups to Isaiah Oliver. I am seeing improvement out of Isaiah Oliver, even though he did have some miscues tonight as usual. But you know, he's a new starter, so I'm willing to give him. I told everybody I'm giving him 8 weeks. I mentioned that in my last video. I'm giving him at least 8 weeks, y'all, to try to develop. You know, and not just develop, but 8 weeks, because we have some corners that we drafted right behind him, so he has to continue to perform, because Kendall Sheffield, with punching that ball out and continuing to develop. And then we also have Jordan Miller. I didn't see Jordan Miller out there tonight, I don't believe, but I know we have him as well, where they all fighting for that number 2 corner. So Isaiah Oliver has to continue to improve. I did see improvement tonight from the first game where Thielen was just burning them and killing them. He did have a couple, I believe 1 holding penalty tonight, which was much better. He cleaned it up a little bit, and he almost had an interception on one of the plays where he jumped the route, which looked good. It looks like it was Carson Wentz and the receiver were not on the same page, but it still was a good way of him making a play on the ball. And he made an excellent stop at the end of the game on Zach Ertz, man, because they almost had that first down. It was like within inches, but he made a solid tackle. He wrapped up and he ran through it was a textbook tackle. He wrapped him up and ran through the guy's body, which you're supposed to do. He ran through Zach Ertz, because Zach Ertz is a big guy. He's much bigger than Isaiah Oliver. And it was a one-on-one play. So it was an excellent stop by Isaiah Oliver with bringing his pads, his leverage, as Coach Quinn always talks about. He came in at an excellent angle. He stayed low, and he had excellent leverage to be able to take Zach Ertz down. And then I believe Debo came right behind him and also made a hit to make sure he couldn't stretch the ball over the first down marker. So it was an excellent stop by our defense. Our defense played awesome tonight. To be honest, I was telling my friends when I was watching the game shouldn't even have been as close as it was. We just had those terrible turnovers in the red zone. Like that one pick, I don't want to keep talking about it, but that one pick that Matt Ryan had in the red zone, that was at least 3 points right there that we gave away. We gave back to them. So, like I said, a lot of it was offensive play calling by Dirk Cutter. It wasn't all Matt Ryan's fault. It was just bad adjustments being made. Like, we didn't make the proper adjustments to the end of the game, which I'm glad we made the adjustment and threw that screen pass at the end of the game, because it wasn't looking good for us. I believe when we threw that screen, it was like 4th down or something like that. So that was big, man. I'm just so happy we got this win, man. I was on the edge of my seat the whole game. I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. I was really nervous. Like, come on, y'all. Pull this out. I do not want to be 0-2. It's so hard to make the playoffs, and it's so hard because the NFL is like, parity is real. So we really needed that win. And we definitely, like I mentioned in my last video, you need to win your home games. So it's big that we protect our home field. Like I said, excellent pressure by the defensive line tonight. Big ups to them on stopping the run. They look excellent tonight, man. Because if you remember last year, we couldn't stop the run. We couldn't do anything. Partial of it was injuries, but part of it was the defensive line just wasn't as stout. But us bringing in Tyler Davison, Grady Jarrett played awesome. Bringing in Allen Bailey. Those guys look awesome tonight, man. And they were bringing the pressure. Vic Beasley, Pat McKinley, man, Grady Jarrett. They was all over it tonight, man. With bringing the pressure on Carson Wentz. All of them was bringing the pressure, man. That's what we have to do. We have to do that. We have to continue to bring pressure. The defense, like I said, played awesome tonight, man. Hats off to the defense. Because really, to be honest, the defense won us this game. The defense was awesome tonight, man. Causing turnovers and putting pressure. I don't know how many sacks we had, but I know we had a ton of quarterback hits. And I know Vic Beasley had a crucial sack. I know that Grady Jarrett had a sack, and I believe Pat McKinley had a sack. I don't know who else had a sack, but I know for a fact I remember those three guys having a sack. So, excellent job of putting Carson Wentz, having him under duress all night. Excellent job flying around, everybody flying to the ball. Man, it was just a great game, man. It was just a great game. It was an exciting game, man. The Eagles played a good game. They don't have nothing to hold their head down about because they had a ton of players that got injured during the game. Deshaun Jackson was hurt. Alshon Jeffrey was hurt. Like, it seemed like everybody on their team was hurt. I believe Corey Peters, I believe is his name. Or Jason Peters, I'm sorry. Their left tackle. He went down for a second, but I believe he ended up coming back in the game. But they just had a ton of injuries on their side too. And then the last thing I want to talk about, then I'm going to go ahead and get ready to go to bed, is the play calling or the defense at the end of the game. They did play awesome tonight, but one thing that I didn't like at the end of the game was Isaiah Oliver getting beat and Keanu Neal being out of position in two different plays. I don't know what the play call was, but to be honest, Nelson Aguilar got up the sideline on that last drive, and he could have easily had a walk-in touchdown, but he just dropped the ball. So I don't know. I believe Keanu Neal was supposed to be over the top of Isaiah Oliver because Isaiah Oliver looked like he was playing some type of zone. Like, he was looking back. I don't know if he just peeked in the backfield too long and he was in man coverage and he just blew the assignment, or if Keanu Neal was peeking down like he did on that last play and allowed Aguilar to get up the rail like that, because one of them was out of position, and that's not good because that's like a 50-50 chance right there. That could have been the game. Another play towards the end of the game when it was fourth down. Why in the world would you guys allow them to get a 60-yard pass, whatever it was, 60 or whatever? Why would you let anybody get behind you in that position? They were playing sticks defense. They was playing at the sticks. But my thing is this. The safety should have been deep. And that play, they clearly went back to it on a telecast in the instant replay. And I know for a fact on that play, that was Keanu Neal's coverage that he blew because he was trying to peek in the backfield, or he was trying to come up and make a tackle or make a play on the ball when he should have been back protecting the end zone, because at that point, a field goal didn't help them. We were up 24-20. So they needed a touchdown. And we almost we put them they were in the red zone, y'all. Even though we stopped them, we still have to look at the mistakes that we made that could have been crucial. So it's still stuff that we need to clean up. I don't want to complain and whine and all of this because I know that we're human. They make mistakes just like anything. But we just have to play smarter. I feel like sometimes when we have the lead, or even just anytime, we don't play smart sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, I know you're trying to make a play, but in the midst of you trying to make that play, just play smarter. Meaning, in that situation, if all they need is a touchdown, I understand you're playing at the sticks, but at that point, every defensive player or defender on the DB, linebacker, whatever, should know, don't let nobody get behind you. The safeties, the corners, don't let nobody get behind you. I don't know what not Deion Jones, but Keanu Neal was doing on that play. But him coming up and they was talking about he was like in the lurk position or whatever. No, he should have been guarding the end zone. So he should have been back making sure, because that deep pass to Nelson Aguilar should have never happened. They should have never and it was on like 4th down. It was no reason. It was like 4th and 15 or something crazy. It was or something like that. But it was no way that he should have caught a dang on 50-yard bomb, 30-yard bomb, whatever it was, to put them in the red zone on a 4th down like that. That was blown coverage. That was terrible. So, like I said, I love my Falcons. I'm so excited that we got the W. It was a big win. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. Like I said, I got the Falcons going all the way to the Super Bowl this year, taking on the New England Patriots. And the New England Patriots, man, they're looking real tough. But I have the Falcons going to the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and I have us redeeming ourselves from that 28-3 loss, y'all. So big ups to the team. Big ups to Dan Quinn. I told y'all in my last video that Dan Quinn was going to have them boys ready to play, because last week we got embarrassed. And trust me, Dan Quinn doesn't like to be embarrassed, and none of our players like to be embarrassed. Julio Jones and Matt Ryan was on their toes. Ito Smith, man. Ito Smith is another thing, man. I don't know what's up with Devontae Freeman. To me, I don't want to speak negative on Devontae Freeman, because he's one of my favorite players on the Falcons just because of the heart that he plays with. But to me, he kind of looks like he's lost the step a little bit. Like he doesn't look as explosive as he used to be, which I understand when you come back from a knee injury and things of that nature. And I believe he had a groin injury last year, that it takes time for you to come back completely healed. So I want to wait to see him a little bit longer just to see. But Ito Smith might overtake Devontae Freeman, man, for that starting running back role, because Ito Smith plays, I see the plays that he makes, the cuts he makes, he just looks a little bit more explosive to me right now than Devontae Freeman. And this is coming from someone that's very biased to Devontae Freeman, because Devontae Freeman is like one of my favorite players on the offense. So for me to say somebody should take his job is tough, but my eyes see what my eyes see. And every time I see Ito Smith run the ball, like when he had that 30-yard run, when he cut it all the way back, he plays with the same similar vision, and he runs with similar vision that Devontae Freeman runs with. But right now, he just looks a little bit more explosive. So I don't know if Devontae Freeman has just taken too many hits through the years now, because it's been about 3 or 4 years that he's been on the team. I don't know if it's just been he's taken too many hits, like too many big hits. But it just looks like he doesn't run with the same explosiveness and aggression that he once ran with. I don't know if it's, all of the hits that he's taking, that he's trying to tiptoe through the line now. But he's still one of my favorite players on the Falcons. Don't get me wrong. I still say the jury's out and give him a couple more games to, because he didn't play in the preseason. So maybe he's still trying to work himself into football shape. But I hope he gets back to being the old Devontae Freeman that I came to love, with his cutting ability and his explosiveness. But if he doesn't, and I keep seeing Ito Smith ball out, Ito Smith might have to take that starting role, man. And then I don't know why we're not dressing out Quadri Olesen or Brian Hill. To me, one of those guys needs to be dressing during these games, because one thing that I feel like we also need a running back that can pound up the middle, man. We need a battering ram, either Quadri Olesen or either Brian Hill. We need one of those bigger backs to start dressing, because I understand that they might say like, okay, the numbers, they may be looking at the numbers, and that may be a reason why those running backs are not dressing. But I feel like this: put them on special teams if you feel like you need them to play another role. I'm sure Brian Hill or Quadri Olesen can go run down on kickoff returns, and they also can go down on punt coverage, punt returns, or on punts, like when we're punting the ball. So, man, I'm about to get ready to get up off here, man. But it was an excellent game. I'm so proud of our team, man. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel, man. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm gonna have more content for y'all, As always, I'm gonna do probably do another video tomorrow if it comes out of the status of Caleb McGarry, because I'm very concerned, and I just hope that he's all right, man. We do not need any more serious injuries, especially on our offensive line. It seems like our offensive line right now is like the only one that's the only position or the only unit that's taking all of these injuries. I don't know what's up. I don't know if it has something to do with conditioning. I don't know if it's just freak accidents. But I know this is the NFL, and in the NFL, injuries are going to happen. I mean, that's just bound to happen. So, y'all just rise up as always. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about the game. Originally, I had the game being 28-17, I believe, and it turned out being 24-20. So I wasn't too off with my score or my prediction. It seemed like every time we play the Eagles, man, it always comes down to like whoever has the ball last. Well, it always is a tight game, man. I do know a couple Eagles fans, like a couple of my friends are Eagles fans, and it seems like every time we play them, it always comes down to the wire. So I'm just glad that we were on the other end this time, because it just seems like every time we play the Eagles, we always come to, at least lately, we always come up on the short end of the stick. So I'm just glad that this time we were able to score that last touchdown. Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, him connected on that nice screen pass, and Julio did the rest, man. I'm so proud that Julio got his money. Man, I'm just so proud of our team. We need to go back to the drawing board this week, make adjustments. I'm definitely looking forward to, like I said, to see these injuries, to see, make sure Caleb McGarry is all right, make sure he's not going to be, it wasn't a serious injury that he sustained. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, y'all. But like I said before, please like, please share the video. Please subscribe. Please tell any of your Falcon friends about the page, any football fans about the page. Big ups to the Eagles. It was a great game. We were just a better team tonight. I hope that the injuries that their players sustain are not serious, man, because I don't like I said before, I don't like to see any team or any player get hurt, especially if it's a serious injury. So hopefully their players are not out too long, because it looks like they had a ton of injuries like we had last season. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here, y'all. I'll have a video for y'all tomorrow. 1-1. Going strong, y'all. Going to Indianapolis next week. Let's go get this win and be 2-1. We right there in the thick of things with the Saints losing. We right tied for first place in our division. Us, the Saints, and the Bucks are all 1-1. The Panthers are 0-2. So we just got to keep it rolling, y'all. I have us winning our division this year. We just have to keep chugging along, man. Keep getting these wins, y'all. But like I said, as always, rise up, the brotherhood. Falcons for life. All right, y'all. I'm your boy Jew, and I'm out. Peace.